This is Channel 2.
Good evening. The government's closing down 5 social welfare homes for young people at risk. The closures will leave only 4 homes nationwide and will cost 200 jobs.
Up till now, the homes have been available to house young people between 10 and 16 who get in trouble with the law. But the government says 5 must close because they simply aren't needed. The homes are 2/3 empty. Staff say they're resigned to the closures. There's a trend to move young people out of institutions and into the community. But staff say these closures can only work if the government replaces the institutions with good community backup.
New South Wales Rail believe it has pinpointed the probable cause of Sunday's rail crash outside Sydney, in which 6 people were killed. It says that the steam train climbing a hill in front of a crowded commuter train dropped large amounts of sand on the rails to get traction, and it's now believed the sand prevented automatic warning signals from working. Members of the Ngāti tribe refused tonight to lift a tapu they placed on New Zealand Steel's iron sand mine at Glenbrook. They plan to picket the site tomorrow and say if steelworkers try to enter the area, it will be at their own risk. The Ngāti claim the land was stolen from them by the Crown 21 years ago and say the iron sand mining is desecrating the graves of their ancestors buried there. But steelworkers today voted to ignore the tapu and return to work. The company is deciding tonight whether to let the men resume work and will tell them at a meeting tomorrow morning. A windfall for the Air Force may lead to casualties in the Army. The Air Force is to get new jet trainers next year, but the purchase means up to 10% of all defence staff face the chop to pay the bill. Defence Minister Peter Tapsell says the cuts must be made to balance the books.
While the cuts will be spread across the armed services, Mr Tapsell says the Army will be hardest hit. He says Defence Forces could be cut by 5 to 10% overall, but details won't be announced for a few weeks.
In court today, a 19-year-old man, Jason John Collett, was charged with manslaughter after a bungee jump went tragically wrong at a South Auckland fun park earlier this year. The Crown alleges Thomas Hemmy's bungee cord was not properly attached to the tower when he made his fatal jump, plummeting 20 metres to his death. Finally, the latest technology is being used to save one of the Earth's oldest creatures from extinction. At London Zoo, they're using satellites to track the movements of individual elephants thousands of miles away in Kenya.
Millions of African elephants roamed wild, now just thousands are left. Conservationists are trying all they know to save the species, but the old ways are no longer enough. Now they're turning to the latest technology. This elephant is fitted with a radio transmitter. The signal is picked up by satellite, and at London Zoo the computer monitors the results. This shows the movements of one elephant over the last 3 weeks. Soon as many as a dozen will be tracked. A year ago, fears for the future of the African elephant reached a climax as poaching claimed hundreds of victims. Now that problem at least is almost under control. Just as the ceremonial burning of tons of poachers' ivory captured the imagination of the world, it's hoped this project will inspire a new wave of concern about the future of the elephant.
That's it from Newsbreak tonight.